So it is a Sunday evening. It's just after 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening. I'm looking at a bit windswept here. And the reason for that, Nino Podesta, is that I was out in the wind for most of the day today, learning more about the sport of polo cross. And thanks very much to Lyle Hewitson's mom, Samantha Hewitson, for inviting me to the Ngwenya Polo Cross Club. I have filmed a little bit, but I think it was extremely windy out there today. And I'm looking forward to going back there in the middle of September. But what an interesting sport that is. A few ex-race horses, but a very different discipline where the riders, the players rather, carry this long stick with a net on the end, and they've got to throw this ball amongst each other using the horses. It's absolutely fascinating, but the horses have to be very good at what they do. They've got to it's run, stop, start, turn, and you've got to get the object is to get the ball into the goal on the other side of the pitch. But brilliant stuff.
Yeah, good evening. It sounds very exciting. And did you actually play it? Were you on the horse today?
No. I was a spectator, and I was drinking their beer. I was drinking their beer and eating their boerewors rolls, and the salads that they had for us. So I was just a guest, today.
Okay, and did you ask Lyle Hewitson's mom Lyle's doing up there?
Yes, I did inquire about that. Obviously, there's I think it starts on the 11th of September. I think is the first race meeting in Hong Kong, and he's looking forward to a fair enough season. He only arrived this last week. Unfortunately, he got COVID a few weeks ago when he was holidaying in England. So he was in quarantine for a week or so. So he's arrived a week late, but he's back on a horse, and he is back working the horses in Hong Kong. So all the best to our two South African riders there, to both him and to Luke Ferraris. I think they're both going to have exceptional seasons. And we can't forget our very favorite son, Chris Titan, who we regard as South African, even though he's Mauritian. But he rode here, as we know, for such a long time and was very successful in South Africa.
And he's riding well there as well, Nico, to be honest with you.
So we've got three big names there from a jockey's point of view. From a trainer's point of view, we've got Tony Millard and we've got Douglas White. And Dougie White's the Durban Demon.
And David Ferraris, isn't David's
retired. David's retired, now living in Plettenberg Bay. But all the best for those guys when they take on the Hong Kong season. But let's go to today's preview for tomorrow. Now, interestingly, it is expected to rain tomorrow during the course of the day down in Gqeberha. So we do have a Fairview Polytrack meeting, but I can tell you that whilst there's been no rain in the last 24 hours, it is expected to rain tomorrow. And the fast rail is set 3 meters out on the Polytrack. The track condition is obviously standard. Now let's take you through the races on Monday. In the first race, the important change is that Chariot Master number 5, they've put blinkers on now. And this horse was narrowly behind them on Friday, ran half a length behind Dammy, and you think it's going to win tomorrow, you know?
Well, Nico, looking at this field, I think he's got an excellent chance of breaking its maiden, provided that he did take his race well on Friday. Goom Goom and Trump Express were also in that same race, and I think they ran behind him. Well, they must have run behind him.
They did,
because he ran second to Dammy.
That's
so
right.
You should have the beating of those two. Potentially could be the immediate danger. Ran a much improved race last time on the Poly, being second to Russian Empire, but then there's nothing between him and number 8 Siberian Fox. That was just half a length behind him. But also does interest me a little bit is this number 6, Coupe Royale. We've got to keep a close eye on this one. This used to be with Brett Crawford. I see the blinkers have come off. And he has run against some nice horses here in the Cape, especially behind Steinbeck. That's won 3, won another 2 after that, and ran 4th today. Was actually fancied to win today, but I think it ran 4th behind Galactic Path.
Okay, so it's looking like Chariot Master, provided, as you say, he's taken his race well, could be the right one over there. So you've gone 5, 7, 6, and 8 in the opening leg of the bipot, but all of those have chances.
Yeah, I think they do. A very weak maiden race. You know what happens here, Nico? They always turn the form around with each other, so you can never be confident in these kind of races.
Okay, let's move to the second race, start of the PA. It's at 1:05. It's a maiden plate fillies and mares, 1,300 meters. There are no changes in race 2. Here, Tufan is your top choice for Gavin Smith and JP van der Merwe. This horse knocking on the door for her maiden when you've gone for that ahead of number 1, Montresor from an informed Cliffy Milliard. He had a hell of a day on Friday.
He did, eh? He had a good day. The problem is that he's not consistent. He has a good day and then a bad day. Hopefully he continues running well. Again, another trappy race, Nico, and I've narrowed it down to 5, 1, 2, and 6, and watch number 4, River Birch. Now, this also slow on debut. Is a well-bred son of Silvano. I think they've put the blinkers, no, the tongue tie comes on. He's got Richard Fourie on. This could show any kind of improvement. So I wouldn't be leaving that out of my bets either. So another trappy maiden race, very weak field. And I think I've taken all 5 in the bipod just to make sure. Probably we could double up as well.
Yeah, I think that isn't the easiest of races. I'm looking at this River Birch. My ears pricked when you mentioned it, because I do remember her running first time out, very lightly raced. In fact, she's only had 1 run as a 4-year-old. When she made her debut, she was 4, which was on the 1st of August. So she's in the betting at 9-2, 5-1 River Birch. But Richard Fourie and the tongue tie interest me on that one. I know you've put it in the brackets there to watch. I think that'll go fairly close.
Yeah, Nico, tells me. I think maybe she might just need another run or 2. I watched the first run. She was slow out and she was very green. And I wrote it down in the book, looking for further and maybe needing another run or 2. But now that the tongue tie is on, you never can tell how much improvement this horse can show. It's very well bred. So.
It is. No, it's extremely well bred, but obviously had her issues only coming out as a 4-year-old. But I think she's definitely one to include. That's one for you there, 5-6-1 in the market. But you do like the 5-2 to win it, the 28-10 favorite to beat Montresor and Echoes of Winter. Okay, so load up there is the call from Nino in both the bipot and the place accumulator. Race 3 is a maiden plate at 20-2 over 1,600 meters. And in the third race, I'm just looking at the changes. You can scratch number 9, Foot Soldier. That's the first change that's come through. That's a non-runner. And in fact, that's the change there. So scratch number 9 here, Foot Soldier. Now, you're going again for Kelly Mitchley's horse, Grand Destiny. Marco van Rensburg rides for the first time. You like this one?
Nico, I think it's another trappy maiden race, but that is my first choice. I just like the way it improved last time. Ran a nice race behind McTavish. She's owned by the Falloons, who are having a great run of late.
That's right, yeah.
So it's got to have a chance. But I've narrowed, it's a bit of a trappy race. I've narrowed it down to 4 horses, and that's 3, 1, 8, and 11. And I've gone through this card, and I really believe the winner is going to come from one of those 4 horses.
Okay, so 3 Grand Destiny to beat 8 Douglas Devastator, Richard Fourie for Alan Creff. Not the best of draws there, but I don't think it's that important over the mile. 11 Prince of Heaven, you've gone for third. Muzzy Yerni riding that from a good draw. And then number 1, you've tipped to run 4th. So again, not the easiest of races. A Great Ecstasy, by the way, is number 1 in the 3rd race. Okay, next page to the 4th. A merit rated 72 handicap over a mile. The changes in race 4. Number 8, Wild Eye, will have a compression mask on. And then number 12, Excelsior, has blinker pacifiers on that one from the Jacques Stradum yard. Okay, talk to us here. 10, My Boy Reese is your top choice. Muzi Yeni riding for Sharon Kotzen. Doesn't often ride for her, but you're thinking My Boy Reese is the right horse in race 4.
I like this at the price, Nico. It's another competitive little races, but I've gone for number 10, My Boy Reese. I ignored that last run over the 2,400 meters. It was definitely too far for it. And the previous runs on Polly were good. She ran second to Euphoric over course and distance, ran second to Assured, and then ran 6 lengths behind Princess of Fire. I think at 9-1, drawn 1, Muzi Yeni up, this could be a runner. Louis McCoxer, I don't think can make the weight. That's why Muzi,
Yes,
I don't think he can ride.
Yeah, that's correct.
Just to clear that point out, I don't think Louis McCoxer can do 53.5. So he's riding another horse in the race, isn't he?
I'm a Fidget.
He's riding Homer Fidget. Because I think it's because of the weight. I'm not sure if you can see there. I don't think he can ride it weight. So I'm going for 10. I like a bit of number 1. Also at a nice price, Gold Rock. Also has some good form over strong against Stronger when it ran 3rd behind and Solar. I thought that was a good run, and second to Imslabini, and then ran behind Moon Rock, but that was on the turf. She'll probably be better on the poly. I'd give Bowl Strike a chance, and then obviously Homer Fidget, and then beyond that you got to look at horses like your Lungo. My view of that is I think he needs to go back to the turf. I think he's a better turf horse than the poly horse. Despera ran a good race last time out, and that's about it for me.
Okay, so that's Nino's take on the 4th race. He's going with a bit of value in the 10, My Boy Reese, who's had 7 runs on the Polytrack for a win and 4 places. Muzi Yeni gets on board for the first time. Okay, let's go on to race 5 over the 1,900-meter trip. This is a merit-rated 88 handicap. It's off at 10-3. In race 5, no changes to come through at this stage. And again, it's saddlecloth number 10 that interests you. And he has an interesting sort, a Blue Azure, who you were all over last time out. I think you tipped it at 7-1. It absolutely trotted up. You said to me, Nico, wait for this horse to go over the further trip, and it did that. And now it stayed over the further trip. Richard Faree's back on. We're going for it again.
Yeah, no, you got to go. The way it won last time just flatters the horse that ran second. It could have won by 5, I think.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive last win over course and distance. Drops from 61, excuse me, to 55.5. Drops 5.5 kilos.
Yeah.
Taking on a bit stronger, but I think he's going to be up to the task. And I'm making a stand. I'm making this one of the better bets. For me, I think this horse will win. So I'm going to be banking in it in all my bets. You can help me maybe to find the placings.
Well,
I think
funny you should ask me that, because the one person I bumped into, because I was at the sales yesterday, I bumped into Alan Greff, but I merely said hello. I bumped into Gavin Smith in the toilets, okay?
Oh.
And because there were people there, Gavin said, I'll phone you. But Gavin said he'd phone me and tell me what he's got. But unfortunately, I realized when I last gave Gavin Smith my number was about 10 years ago. And I've changed numbers since then. So, Gavin, if you're watching this, I have changed my number. And if you were trying to get hold of me, you would not have managed to get on that phone because that phone is long gone. But I did speak to Sharon Kotzen, right? I had a quick look at Sharon, and she likes both the horses in this race. 6 Ideal Angel and 3 Wings of Fire. As you know, there was little between them in the race behind Rattle Mouse. But Louis Courtois is back on Wings of Fire. He didn't ride it last time out, and she honestly thought that both of them would be right there. So she did tell me, Nico, both my fillies or mares will be right there in this race. So we'll include them.
Okay, I did include Ideal Angel. I actually tipped it second. I didn't include Princess Wings of Fire.
Yeah.
Nico, I can't see her giving a Blue Azure. How much? 2 kilos?
Yeah, 2 kilos. Yeah, 2 kilos.
And she's far. You know, a Blue Azure is only improving. If he improves any more from that last run, he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
No, I agree with you there. I think that's definitely the horse to beat. But just from what she told me, we've got to take cognizance of the fact that wherever Ideal Angel has put Wings of Fire in. So if you're going to go wider than that, wherever you put the 6, put the 3, even though Nino hasn't tipped it. You've got Jacob's Ladder third. Gabriel Pisser rides.
That's been running against strong horses. He ran second to Jager Moon.
He did.
Then he ran behind Eruditus last time. But the run before that, when he ran behind Irish Rain, that worries me a little bit. Because Irish Rain is in the same race, I believe.
Yes.
So
you've tipped that fourth.
Yeah, so I've gone for that ahead of just behind Jacob's Ladder. But I don't think there's much between those two.
Okay. So that's the 5th race. Nino, pretty big on a Blue Azure. We'll come to that and confirm that just now in our closing. Then we move to race number 6 on the card. This is a Fillies and Mares 78 handicap, 1,400 meters. Let's just quickly go to the changes here. You can scratch number 4, Rainbow Thief. That's a non-runner here. And race 6, number 4. Then there are no further changes other than that one. So here, let's go to your selection. You're going for number 9, Ancestral Prayer, who was taking off late in the day last time out. They put blinkers on her now. And you've tipped to beat home Dancing Girl, who's been very consistent.
Yes, Nico, I do make it a 2-horse race. It's just the way they're going to go, because Dancing Girl is definitely going to go to the front. That's the way she runs. She's a relentless front runner. And Ancestral Prayer will have to come from behind, from a tricky draw to catch it. But I do believe that Ancestral Prayer ran against much stronger last time. And, you know, if you look at Dancing Girl, she's had 5 winners on the Poly, but she's never won over 1,400, which I find strange. They've all been over 13 or 16, and this is a 14. It could be just that I don't understand it, but I think Ancestral Prayer is going to, with the blinkers on, he's not going to be so far back as he was last time. Kamala kept it a bit too far back last time. I think Richard is going to be a bit nearer to the pace. They cannot let Dancing Girl get away. That's the bottom line. If Richard allows this a soft lead and allows her to get away, she's going to be very hard to catch. So it all depends on tactics here. But I'm going with a 9 to beat the 5. And really don't see anything else.
Okay, so 9 to beat 5. Those are Nino's 2. Ancestral Prayer, I think, might well be the right horse. Not drawn the best, though, 12. So it hasn't got the best of draws. Comes into 11 with the scratching now. So it's drawn 1 of the outside.
But that's okay, Nico. It's okay, because you'll drop him out. This horse does come from off the pace. So Richard is probably going to drop him out and come to the outside. The way that Inherited Rain should have ran on Friday. When Kamala dropped it out, he should have come to the outside. But he went back down the inside. I think he made a mistake there. But so let's. I think Richard is going to bring this horse up on the outside with a late run.
Okay. So 9, 5, 3, and 8 are the numbers there for Nino in race 6. Moving to the 7th now at 4 o'clock, a merit rated 78 handicap, a sprint 1,000 meters. No changes in the 7th race. And this is your value bet for the day. Vista Nova, Gavin Smith and Kelvin Habib. You like Vista Nova quite a bit.
I do, and you only have to look at the form. She's dropping way down in class. I know she's carrying 63 kilos, but over 1,000 meters, I don't think that's going to be a problem. She's well drawn. She's run behind horses like Inherited Range, Jeansman. She ran the short head to What a Winter, which would be 1 to 10 in a race like this. She's also ran level weights with Captain Tatters. She's beat No Lane up. She ran behind Glacier Gold and Green Light to Heaven. She's definitely taken a big step down in class here. And at that price, at 7 to 1, I think this could be a value bet. But it's either her or the field. I really do believe that there are so many here with chances. And there's also been waiting for to run over the 1,000 in PE, and it's running tomorrow at the big price, and that's Bethel. I think Bethel will run a much improved race and could be a lurker for quartets and trifectas, and maybe even add for those that are going wider to put in their perms. Brass Bell's got a chance. Storm Chaser, I believe, is better on the turf. Variety Breeze loves the course and distance. And then Travel Master, been very, very disappointing since he's gone to P. And I'm going to just wait for a bit of more improvement from that one. But like I told you last time, he is a 1,000-meter horse, and it is 1,000 tomorrow. I was actually worried last time over the 1,100, even though it was 100 meters further. It makes quite a difference sometimes. But he is now over the right distance, so that could improve. And Liddell's Echo won the maiden. I think he's taken on a bit stronger here. So it's you've got to either go wide or take a chance on Vista Nova. That's the way I see it.
Okay. Well, I do like Bethel with Muzieni on it. You know, it's a massive jockey strike of biblical proportions, moving from last time to this time. So I agree with you. Bethel at 12-14 to 1 there as a kicker. Okay, the last of the day runs at 25 to 5. It's a merit rated 68 handicap. It's over 1,200 meters. Let's go to the changes here. Scratch number 1, Undisclosed, is off its feed. And then a compression mask is on number 5, Sanctity, who you've tipped to run 4th here. Soweto Rose interests you. This is your top choice for Jean Nel and Loom Kotwa. Again, it's in Hollywood's colors and has kept its form pretty well the last 3 races.
Yeah, he has. Nico, just getting to that race, just give me a second. The last run was over 1,300 and it ran behind Bold Resolve.
Yeah.
Now, Bold Resolve has franked that form. That's a very good horse. That Bold Resolve is going to win a lot of races in PE. And I think it's going to be a top horse. So was not disgraced in running 3 lengths behind Bold Resolve. 2 runs before that were very good when it ran second to Tuck Tuck and beat Tuck Tuck, but 2.5 lengths before that. I think he brings the best form into the race, and he's definitely got to be the horse to beat. Besides that, Sanctity, I think, is better over the 1,000, and I think he's better on the turf. So I think he's might just catch him out. I like a bit of Great Guy to give Soweto Rose a bit of a run. But then it does get very tricky after that, and you've got to look at horses like Stay the Course, Jaguar Cat, Tevi, and also maybe the maiden winner Victory of Dubai. But that form hasn't been franked. So yeah, I'm quite strong on Soweto Rose, Nico.
Okay, Soweto Rose, the top choice, then number 2 to beat him, 11 Great Guy, who's at 14 to 1. 3rd to the 8, which is Jaguar Cat, who's again another consistent horse, and 4th to number 5, Sanctity. Okay, Nino, those are the top 4 choices in each of the 8 races. It's now time to move on to the bipot. We broke away from normal course of business by tipping a jackpot last week, and it was just that one that one leg that you mentioned earlier on, Inherit the Rain on Friday, just didn't run up to scratch. But
No, I don't know what happened.
We've departed from the normal on Friday, but we're going back to the bipot now. So
yeah, we're going back to the bipot because I got 2 bankers in the bipot, so I'm going back to the bipot.
Okay, do you want to run through it for us? It starts in the first race. So you're going wide in the first 3 legs.
Yeah, I'm going 5, 6, 7, and 8. A Chariot Master, Coupe Royale, Patenti, and Siberian Fox. Second leg, I'm going number 1, Mont Trésor, 2, Lily of Orange, 4, River Birch, 5, 2, Fawn, and I'm putting in number 6, Echoes of Winter. Third leg, I'm putting in number 1, Great Ecstasy, number 3, Grand Destiny, number 8, Douglas Devastator, and number 11, Prince of Heaven. The fourth leg, I'm only going 3 horses. I'm taking a bit of a chance here. Gold Rock, Bowl Strike, and obviously My Boy Reese, and then banker a Blue Azure, number 10, and banker number 9, Ancestral Prayer, which cost at the cost of 240 Rand.
Yeah, that's 240 Rand, as you mentioned there. Just to confirm, 4 numbers by 5 numbers is 20, by 4 is 80, by 3 is 240. That is correct. 24 Rand gets you 10%, 48 Rand, 20%, and obviously 120 Rand for 50%. Now, the best bet of the day comes up in race 5, number 10, a Blue Azure. You know, Nino's policy is once horses win, stick with them. When you first came on the show, I remember you tipping horses and you stayed with them. They kept on winning, Nino, which put your name up in lights. And this is the same case with this horse, the ex-Paul Peter runner. 3 to 1. Even a bit of 7 to 2 may be available in some bookmakers' boards overnight, Sunday night.
Yeah, you know, Nico, I don't want to sound too confident because I haven't exactly been on form lately. I'm starting to get my form back, but I think that's a good price. 72, a Blue Azure. I think it's a very good price. So yeah. For those that do like it, I would suggest have a nibble on it. But
yeah. Okay, that value bet comes up later on. Race 7, number 1, Vista Nova. That's 7 to 1. And I'm going to add in another value bet. Give me license to add in that horse of Richard Farise that you mentioned earlier, River Birch.
Yeah, definitely.
At 5, 6 to 1, River Birch. Which I'm just going to add in for good measure. Right, and then there's more racing obviously on Friday, and we're going into a better month of racing, going into September. Just quickly, Nino, whilst people are listening and watching, we have to bring back our subscriber based tipping in September, probably towards the end of the month of September, but we are going to revise it after we've got a lot of input in from our paying subscribers that pay for these weekend selections. So we look forward to coming back at the end of September with that, with a whole new look and feel, and we'll announce that in the coming weeks. But yeah, what's the weather like in Cape Town? It was okay today for racing, wasn't it?
It was, but it was cold.
Yeah.
We had black clouds overhead. It was very cold, but not much rain, Nico, but freezing cold.
Yes. And when have you got racing there again in Cape Town?
Oh, I didn't look. I think on Saturday. I haven't seen.
Okay.
I didn't go that far.
Yeah, you don't. I'll double check now. No, I think racing is in Joburg. Racing, we've got a Joburg meeting, which is out of the ordinary for a weekend, but we've got a Joburg meeting on Saturday the 3rd. You are racing again, believe it or not. Wow. On the 7th of September only. Racing at Durbanville is your next meeting. So that's quite a while. That's
10 days time.
10 days time, yeah. 10 days time. On the 7th, on Wednesday, the 7th of September, racing at Durbanville. So there's a bit of time.
Okay, the winter course. Are they going to Durbanville on the winter course?
Durbanville for the month of September by the looks of it. Yeah.
And PE is Friday.
PE racing is back there on Friday the 2nd.
Yeah, but is it
Race
Is
field
it on the poly again?
on the turf.
Oh, good, good. Well, that's
Okay.
good news.
Nino, great to chat to you once again. Let's hope Monday starts with a good week for us. Thanks very much for all the homework done and all your selections. And let's just hope we get it right again tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got to start getting it right. Thank you, Nico.
Thanks very much.